Production support for the weekly special is provided by
Smithfield Communications, serving southern Indiana with high-speed fibre gigabit internet for businesses, hospitals and homes. Smithfield Fibre Gigabit Technology. Tap the power.
IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. IU Credit Union, now offering mobile access to IU Credit Union accounts, helping account holders check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills through their mobile devices. Available through the IU Credit Union apps for iPhone and Droid. The Al Cobine Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobine to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you. Indiana is full of incredible artists, but tonight we'll shine the spotlight on a sweeter form of art. Discover artisan foodists from across the state, from delicate chocolates to divine cookies and everything in the sweet between. It's going to be an episode guaranteed to make you drool. You won't want to miss it, so stay tuned right here on the weekly special. Hello, I'm Erica Sagone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this delicious weekly special episode. Foodists across the state are readying their garden for the upcoming season, but for some artisans, their harvest has already begun.
When Tim Burton received an invitation to a maple syrup harvest, he had no idea the experience would make his day and change his career.
After we collected all the sap, we all went back down to the sugar house, which was very small. It was kind of like a lost social aspect of the way things were back in the day. Friends, families, and neighbors would come together, and they would all help. It was really interesting to just observe this and see a group of people over in one part of the sugar house boiling the sap, and then there'd be another group of folks catching up on local gossip, and then there'd be another group of folks over on the side, you know, cracking jokes and things like that. And so it was the lost social aspect of it that really intrigued me. I went home and I told my wife about this. I said, I'm going to go out and start counting maple trees and see how many maple trees, and maybe we can start making either maple syrup or just collecting the sap. And so I took a couple days and went out, and we had a ton of maple trees. We have over 1,200 maple trees. And so the first year we started tapping our trees and we collected the sap, and we sold our sap to a local maple syrup producer because we didn't have an evaporator to cook the maple sap. I started to build the maple house that same year, and the following year we started cooking our own maple sap, and so that's how we got into it.
Burton's Maplewood Farms maple syrup became a favorite at markets across the Midwest. But an unexpected turn put their syrup on the national radar.
My sister and my brother-in-law, they are the founders of the Heads Up Foundation, which benefits children who are born with craniofacial anomalies. My niece, their daughter, Caitlin, was born with a unilateral cleft lip and palate. And so about that time is when Angie and I started making maple syrup. And we were literally sitting around the kitchen table and talking about this and what could we do that would be a revenue generator for the foundation. Why don't we host the Medora Maple Syrup Festival? Maybe Indiana Maple Syrup Festival. So I got online to find out if there was already an Indiana Maple Syrup Festival, and there wasn't, so I thought, great. And then just by chance, I thought, I'm just gonna Google National Maple Syrup Festival, and there was no National Maple Syrup Festival in place.
In 2008, they held the first annual festival at their Medora family farm, with all the proceeds going to the foundation. As the festival's popularity grew nationwide, it was relocated to Nashville, Indiana to accommodate the ever-increasing crowds.
I've been blown away by this whole thing. You know, I can't say that we had this master plan other than establishing a festival that would benefit the Heads Up Foundation and ultimately Riley Hospital for Children. So I think people, like I was just enamored by the whole process. Sugaring, making maple syrup, is really the first sign of early spring. So many people are surprised that Indiana produces maple syrup, but the fact is, Indiana is the southwesterly most maple syrup producing state in the United States. That's a really cool thing to be able to say, because 80% of the entire global production of maple syrup is produced in Canada. The other 20% is in the United States. So what does that mean? Well, that means this is where the sap flows first. That still, you know, that's amazing to me. Indiana, let alone southern Indiana, is the birthplace of the maple syrup season for the entire world.
To learn more about Tim Burton's nationally acclaimed maple syrup, visit his website, burtonsmaplewoodfarm.com. And of course, be sure to check back for all the latest information on next year's festival at nationalmaplesyrupfestival.com. And don't worry, you haven't missed your opportunity to buy those locally made treats. The Indiana Artisan Marketplace is just around the corner, and Director Eric Freeman is here to tell us all about it. Welcome, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Well, the Indiana Artisans Marketplace is a really neat event that lets people buy directly from a lot of Indiana entrepreneurs. But I want to take a step back first and talk about the Indiana Artisan Organization.
Okay.
Tell me what it means to be an Indiana Artisan.
Indiana Artisan creates a brand that defines Indiana by its highest quality arts and foods. And really that's what it means. The jurying process looks at who makes the best foods in Indiana, who makes the best arts in Indiana, and to be named an Indiana Artisan means that you do. When we look back over the 8 years that we've been jurying, only 17% of the applications have been successful. So 83% of the applications are not. So we really do look at that very top tier.
Sure. From a consumer's standpoint, when I see the Indiana Artisan logo on a product, what does that mean? What should I be able to tell from that?
Well, you know, if I'm doing my job right, the logo defines the brand. You know, it's not a good housekeeping seal of approval, but it does say, you know, this food is special. It's different. It's very high quality. Says, you know, a jury of chefs and restaurateurs and grocers, dietitians. The jury panel is really pretty high caliber and really just picks the very best.
What is the jury looking for?
The food jury looks for two different things. Packaging and labeling is very important, and taste and texture is very important, and then the products linked to the state of Indiana. And since we're called Indiana Artisan, the jury panel does ask itself, could this be made just as easily in Nevada? And if so, you know, the score's probably not so high. So are the ingredients from Indiana? Are the ingredients made by the producer themselves? I know you've talked with the nuns, and they actually make the mint that goes into their buttermint cookie. Actually grow it on the grounds. So, you know, that kind of a story is a good story, and, you know, you can't beat that in terms of its link to Indiana.
Sure. And how many members are there in the organization?
We're just shy of 300. There's
Wow.
296.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And so, you know, today's show we're featuring the sweet side of Indiana Artisans,
Absolutely.
but there's really a variety of businesses that are members. Give us an idea of the breadth.
Indiana has a history in candy making and chocolate making, but then there's the whole art side of the house. You know, there's pottery and woodwork and leatherwork, paper makers, jewelers, glass makers. There's just we define art very broadly.
Yeah, really incredible variety.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about the 5th annual Indiana Artisans Marketplace that's coming up. What can people expect?
Well, the Marketplace is our annual showcase. One time a year, all of the artisans come together, and it's in Indianapolis at the Expo Hall at the fairgrounds. And it's their opportunity to kind of look at what each other is doing. And it's really an opportunity for the public to come and see, you know, what is the best in Indiana. So they all have their work. All of the food can be sampled. All of the artists, of course, are there. So on the art side of the house, you can talk with the artists, ask, how do you make this? How long have you made this? And they're all friendly, and we'll talk about it. And of course, they're all interested in selling their work too. So, but there's things, you know, from low price points of the marshmallows, you know, $3 or so, to, you know, oil paintings that are very expensive, glass work that's very expensive. And it's designed to help them reach a public that they may not reach. You know, consider artists that are up in South Bend or down in Evansville. It brings them to that central Indiana area where they can reach that central Indiana market
Sounds like an amazing opportunity to find out sort of what Indiana artists can do. So, well, thank you, Eric, so much for being on the show and for giving us a sneak peek at the event that's to come. For the latest information on the upcoming Indiana Artisan Marketplace, or to learn about artisans in your local area, visit the website indianaartisan.org. Now, Eric, you mentioned that the marketplace is a great way for the public to interact with artisans, and our next subjects are perfect examples of unexpected encounters.
In August of 1867, 4 young Benedictine sisters founded the Sisters of St. Benedict of Ferdinand after journeying to Indiana to teach German settlers. Over the last century, the monastery has been home to over 1,000 sisters, all seeking to live by St. Benedict's 1,500-year-old monastic tradition.
He was asked to write a rule, the rule of St. Benedict that we use today. Our charism, community service, prayer, community life together. And out of our mission, we could be teachers, pastoral care people in a parish, nurses. So we don't have a particular ministry per se, but what's needed in the area.
And what the community needed was cookies.
When the town of Ferdinand initiated the Christkindl Mart, whoever was managing our gift shop at the time wanted to have something particular to our community. They came up with the idea of Springerly cookies. You know, it's the traditional German cookie served at Christmas time. The baker at the time worked with one of the younger sisters and made the cookies. That was probably the first time we made them and sold them to the public. The first year it may have been a couple 100 dozen. So the next year they would try to make a few more. And these were people that were not doing it full time. They were just doing it when they could.
Each year, the cookie popularity grew, and each year, the sisters came up with new cookies to make, finding inspiration in their own religious tradition.
Saint Hildegard was a 12th century mystic. She came to a Benedictine house when she was very young and was trained by one of the sisters there. She did do work with herbs, so she knew the benefit of herbs. A German doctor wrote a book about her work, and in that book is her recipe, and she said 3 to 5 of these a day help create a cheerful countenance, lighten a heavy heart, reduce the effects of aging, and release intelligence. So why wouldn't you want to eat Hildegard cookies?
Today, Simply Divine's Hildegard cookies remain a top seller, not just at the monastery's gift shop, but across Indiana.
When the lieutenant governor started the Indiana Artisan program, we submitted our Springerly cookie with a couple more to be juried in, and that's kind of opened up different avenues for us. Knowing how it went, we thought, well, maybe we can expand this. We've sold them through our gift shop. We have an online store. We've sold cookies to other Benedictine houses, other religious communities. So to be a part of that is pretty special. We have a good product, so it's easy to talk about, and it's also easy and enjoyable to talk about what this community does and why we're here. I wouldn't get in the pulpit and speak necessarily, you know, but this is a very comfortable way to get our message out. For Benedict, one of the mottos is ora et labora, prayer and work. The sisters that do a lot of the packaging, they very much see it as a ministry. They will tell you that as they're packaging the cookies, they are praying for whomever will be purchasing those cookies, reaching out to people in a way that may be a little bit different than a teacher or a hospital worker. The fact that it's made with one's hands it's like being an artist. It's the kind of art that I can do. For me, the whole routine of making something from scratch is saying the work is important, the people that are going to receive it are important. It's kind of that spirit of healing and spreading the word that's special to me.
To check out the entire product line and even order cookies online, visit their website, simplydivinebakery.org. While the sisters may know the perfect ingredients for baking, our next guests know the perfect ingredients for roasting. I'm here with Alexa and Sam from 240 Sweet in Columbus. Welcome, ladies, to the studio.
Oh, thank you. Hello.
Well, and you guys make the fluffiest, most decadent marshmallows, which we're going to roast in a minute. But first, I want to find out a little bit more about them. They come in dozens of flavors. Rattle off some of them for me.
Well, our most popular is salty caramel swirl. It's the one that was in Oprah's magazine.
Okay.
And we have creme brulee and chocolate chip, and Alexa has a new sriracha lime, and we have birthday cake now.
Yeah, they're not all sweet. Some of them have a savory notes to them. I noticed one up here with saffron, I think. So tell me about some of the savory marshmallows that you make.
Oh, we have chicken, beef, and turkey.
What?
I know, crazy, right?
For adults?
It's usually for pets.
Okay, I got it.
Perfectly human grade, but we intended them for dogs.
And how long have you guys been making marshmallows?
What, 8 years?
Maybe 7. We get a little confused. Well, we were the 3rd generation of the family business, and we needed something to promote the catering services. So Alexa said, we'll make marshmallows. And I said, we'll attach them to menus and take them to hair salons, because it was before Facebook. Okay. So we needed a way to promote ourselves, and it worked.
Huh. So you started off as caterers, and then you became marshmallow mavens.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Now, these marshmallows are a little bit different than, say, the marshmallows that I see in most supermarkets. Tell us how they differ.
Well, they're all made with locally sourced ingredients. So all of our corn syrup and sugar comes from this area, in addition to cornstarch and whatnot.
And we use a heritage style recipe. Up until the 1930s, marshmallows were all square, similarly to the way that we make them, but we've updated them and added our own touch with different flavors and things. So before they were ingredients in the baking aisle, they were the confection of the aristocracy. They were fancy schmancy.
So you've gone back to the marshmallows roots.
Yeah.
We've taken it back.
Reclaimed.
Now tell us, what's behind the name 240 Sweet?
Well, it's a softball stage of sugar is 240 degrees.
Okay.
So
part of the process.
Yes.
And how do you make marshmallows, by the way?
Well, we make a delicious concoction of our corn syrup, water, and sugar. And we boil it to 240 degrees, pour it over gelatin, and beat it. Okay. And then they're all hand-panned, hand-cut, packaged.
They have to cure before we cut them, and then we toss them in powdered sugar.
Well, you make it sound really easy, but I'm sure it's more complicated than that. Well, I think it's time to sample some. Tell us what you've brought in for us today.
Well, we brought in chocolate chip, birthday cake, and s'more.
Birthday cake.
Oh,
I want to try birthday cake
ready?
for sure. So we've got some heat here.
Got a little.
And it's gluten-free and fat-free.
All right. So do you have any tips for roasting marshmallows? You seem to be pretty much of a pro here.
Fast and delicate.
Okay.
A light touch with your fire.
Look at that.
You can even use a hairdryer or a heat gun.
This is perfect. You have it like just amazingly toasted around the corners. You've probably done this before, huh?
A few times.
All right. This is an elegant part of the process, me eating the marshmallow on camera. That is delicious. Just like melts in your mouth. Well, you guys try one.
Okay. We never get to eat them.
Oh, no. Here, I'll toast for you.
This?
This is chocolate chip.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. It's a classic.
Ooh. Okay, you try this one.
Okay.
Can I try toasting one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, go for a s'more there.
Okay, so you said the trick is
kind of fast and delicate in the fire there. See, you got
it. Look at that. That's pretty good, I think.
Hey, what are you doing next weekend? You should help us out at our booth at the marketplace.
Yeah, at the Indiana Artisan Show.
Oh, yes. Tell us about your next appearance at the Indiana Artisan Show.
And we'll be toasting samples and sharing them with everyone who comes up. You know, Indiana Artisan has been great for us. It was really one of the things that boosted us from being something that people didn't understand to being something that people were like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, delicious. What flavors do you guys have coming up? Anything that you're working on in the lab?
In the lab, gummy bear marshmallows have been our biggest challenge.
We're still working on them.
Sounds like an amazing flavor. Well, let's keep toasting, but thank you ladies so much for being in the studio. We really appreciate it, for bringing some snacks along. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
And you can get the listings of their marshmallow flavors at 240sweet.com. And in my opinion, nothing goes better with marshmallows than the perfect piece of chocolate. And our next subject has some of the rarest chocolate in the world.
When I grew up, my mom and dad worked at General Motors, and they worked tremendous hours and they worked all the time, and I was the oldest. So I had responsibilities, including some kitchen detail. General Motors would shut down during the holidays. So that was our family time, which was real convenient because that was a time then that we used this wooden spoon to make lovely things like fudge in our kitchen. And frankly, that's when I really got to just be a kid in the house. I worked in the corporate world for years. I had a lot of responsibility there. I traveled, and during those travels, I fell in love with some chocolate that I tasted that I wasn't able to find here. So I began to have chocolate sent in special for my own enjoyment, and later on in life then, when I decided that I was going to do something different for Act 3, and I asked myself the question if I could do anything that I wanted and I didn't worry about failures, what would it be? Chocolate is what came to mind. So I had never made a chocolate in my life. Sure, I had baked some brownies and cake and that type of thing, but I had never made chocolate. I only knew that I wanted to be an artisan chocolatier, and I wanted to work with some of the world's best and rarest chocolate. I had no idea where I would find it, but I was pretty determined that that's what I was going to do. For one, it's very difficult to work with. It's a challenge. There's a lot to learn. It's not something that people can just readily pick up. There's a lot involved, a lot of science. Most chocolate that we've grown up on, the beans are bought at auction as inexpensively as possible. Artificial flavoring is thrown in the back, so it doesn't really matter what the beans themselves actually contributed because all that's lost in the processing. Well, that's not what we do. We work with chocolate where the flavor all comes from the beans. You know, when you slow down and you enjoy stuff, you can start to taste the different flavors and fragrances that come out of something like chocolate. The trees in Central and South America are the ones of the highest qualities. And then each region, the microclimate and the soil and everything is known for having particular aspects that will then come through in the flavor in the beans. So when I'm working with a particular chocolate, I understand what it brings, and then I begin to think about pairings. I literally will just sort of lay things out and just sort of look at them and start tasting things. I'll think, oh, you know, I think if I paired this with this, and then I added that, and then we'll try it and see how it goes. The best time for inspiration to come is when you're not trying. Something just hits you. You go to an art museum, you go visit a farm, you just see things, you see colors, and you have smells that come to you. As a chocolatier, I have a list of things that I want to explore. I know that I won't get to do everything that I would like to do, but I'm determined to try as much as I can. For the most part, everything is really done by hand. People are really surprised. For instance, in my toffee, you know, I've got a little pot like this big. We are true small batch chocolatier here. Our truffles, for instance, we hand roll them. I know sometimes you'll see truffles that are perfectly round, and that's because a chocolate shell has been purchased and ganache has been piped in it. No, we have to hand roll them, hand dip a lot of things. I'm reliving my childhood. It was just recently that I was really reflecting on how this all did come about. Obviously, I love excellent chocolate, okay? But I do think it goes deeper than that. I got to a point in my life where I wanted to enjoy something that was really comforting for me. And I think that those times that we had in the holidays when I was growing up, when we had that family time, I think that that was really important to me. And I think it was important for me to create that or recreate that for myself daily and then share it with others. And that's what I get to do with Chocolate for the Spirit every day.
For a listing of all her latest chocolate confections or directions to her local stores, visit her website, chocolateforthespirit.com. And of course, visit weeklyspecial.org to watch videos of other talented Indiana artisans not featured tonight on our show. Whatever your sweet tooth, I hope you've enjoyed exploring the great foodists of our state. I'm going to break into this chocolate bar. You have a wonderful night, and thanks for joining us. Production support for the weekly special is provided by
Smithfield Communications, serving southern Indiana with high-speed fibre gigabit internet for businesses, hospitals and homes. Smithfield Fibre Gigabit Technology. Tap the power.
IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. IU Credit Union, now offering mobile access to IU Credit Union accounts, helping account holders check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills through their mobile devices. Available through the IU Credit Union apps for iPhone and Droid. The Al Cobine Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobine to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you.